Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Emily. I love to chat about the library, plants, and other things that I'm doing, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today I am going through all of the books that I got during this library book sale season. I try to go to as many library book sales as I can that are in my area because I do have quite a few libraries local to me, and they always put on a spring and a fall book sale. And I think it's just a great way to get a foot in the door, support your library. The money that you spend at these library book sales are going directly back to the library, and a lot of the books that they are selling, they're either books that they no longer want in circulation, want to have in circulation, ones that maybe just aren't being checked out as much, maybe they have too many copies, whatever it might be, or they are books that people in the community have donated to the library. And I think that's very cool. It's always $1 or $2 for a paperback, maybe an extra dollar for a hardcover. I got a puzzle before. They have toys sometimes. They always have kids books and YA books, middle grade books, adult books. I always have fiction, and then they always have the really large staple authors like James Patterson and Danielle Steele and stuff like that. So that's all to say, if you have someone in your family who really likes those authors and you want to gift them a book for their birthday, for a holiday, whatever, checking out your local library book sale might be a good idea. So that way you can, one, support your library, two, get them a gift. Okay, so I went to three library book sales this year, and I filmed reels about them, and I'll link them down below in the caption of this video. But I went to the Robinson Library. Oh wait, did I go to more than three? No. I went to the Robinson Library book sale, the West Allegheny Library book sale, and also the Northland Library book sale. I was going to go to the Scott Township Library book sale also. It just didn't happen. I just got too busy that day, so I went to 3 out of 4 that I wanted to this year, which that's a really good amount. So I'm going to show you the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 books that I got. I also got a puzzle, and I got a bookmark. A hand-painted bookmark. So one of the books that I got that I have been wanting to read for a very long time, but I wasn't able to get them from Libby because it just, I don't know, if the lounge just kept expiring from my local library, and I wasn't able to find it in their library anyways. Upright Women Wanted. I've never read this book. Well, I have read this book since I got it, but I haven't read it I didn't read it before, so that's why I wanted. Anyways, it was just as good as I thought it was going to be, so I did get Upright Women Wanted, and I've recently seen that there's now going to be another book in this series coming out next year in 2027, I think. But yeah, it was just very good, and I feel like this book is like me if there was going to be a book. Fight the state, be a librarian, fuck fascism. So Upright Women Wanted is one of the books that I got, and the next book that I got was also from an author that I actually really love, but I haven't read this one yet, Camp Damascus by Camp Damascus, right? By Chuck Tingle. I love horror. He's probably one of my favorite horror authors, so I'm really glad to have finally gotten this. And I think that this is actually going to be one that I read during the month of June. Kind of for Pride Month, but I read queer books all year, so it's not like reading diversely all year allows me to not have to make specifically curated TBRs for every Heritage Month, Black History Month, a NHPI month, stuff like that, because I already read those books all year. That's not to say that's not the time to be uplifting them. It's just I don't make TBRs those months with specific books in mind because I read diversely all year. Anyways, I think I'm going to read this in June. It says, "Welcome to a God-fearing community with a heart of gold. From Chuck Tingle, beloved internet icon, comes a searing and earnest horror debut about the demons the queer community faces in this country, the price of keeping secrets, and finding the courage to burn it all down." So I actually didn't know this was his debut book, so that's actually really cool. The cover, really cool. And also, I love library book sales because why was this $26? No. I got this for $2 at the library book sale. The next book I got was The Violence by Delilah S. Dawson, and I have read one of this author's books before. I think her book, The Guillotine, or just Guillotine, I don't know, it's a very bright pink colored book. That book, fucking weird and so good. I loved it. This is a chunky book, but I was like, you know what? I read this author before and I really liked her book, so I'm going to get this one. Again, it's only $2. The synopsis is 3 generations of abused women must navigate their chilling new reality as a mysterious epidemic of violence sweeps the nation in this compelling novel of self-discovery, legacy, and hope. And one thing about the first book that I read from this author was that it had such a, how do I put this? Like, the horror aspect to it felt so real, and like it was very, like, it could happen, you know, like it doesn't feel like fantasy, like it feels like fiction, you know, like it could happen. And so yeah, I'm really excited to get to this book. It is a chunky book. It is almost 500 pages. I gotta be in the mood for it for sure. But again, this book was going $28 US dollars. That's fucking crazy, and I only got it for $2 at the library book sale. Okay, the next book that I got was Where You End by Abbott Collar, I think that's how you say their name. But anyways, the cover kind of got me. That is a weird fucking cover, right? The genre on the back says thriller, but the cover is kind of giving horror. So I'm interested to see which way it kind of leans. But the synopsis says, from best-selling nonfiction author Abbott Collar comes a spellbinding fiction debut inspired by true events. The unusual form of amnesia derails the lives of identical twins, forcing them to face the indelible, dangerous shadow of the past. Ooh, I'm a twin, so I really, really, really like books about twins. And now I'm remembering that that's why I actually picked this book up. It's been a couple months since I was at the library book sale, so I forgot about this. Okay, cool. So 2 debut books. 2 authors debut. Well, I think for this book, I think this one is just their fiction debut, but still a debut, right? Okay, and then the last book that I got was The Host by Stephanie Meyer, and these were all from the West Day Library book sale. I actually filmed a reel about this, and I was doing a voiceover, and I was like, I wish I had gotten The Host. I regret it every day since. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about because I did get the book, and I forgot that I got it, and I have been thinking about it since. And so when I was bringing all these books out to film this video, I was like, wait, I did get this book, so I don't have to regret it anymore. Now I'm happy. I read this book. I think it was something that we read in middle school or high school. No, it had to have been 8th grade, pre-AP English or something like that. This book has stuck with me since then. I love this book. The movie was just as good, and I have been kind of wanting to reread this book, The Fifth, what's it called? What is it called? I'll put a picture here. I can't remember what it, but I read both of these, and these were my intro to dystopian that was outside of what was Divergent and the Hunger Games and stuff like that. So this was me going even more into the dystopian kind of cli-fi stuff, alien stuff, whatever. Yeah. No, I love this book so much. I probably am not going to reread it for a very long time, but I'm really happy that's on my bookshelf now. So these are the 5 books that I got from the West Day Library book sale, and I got all these for very cheap. These are my West Day Library book sale haul. Oh wait, no, that was the West Day Library book sale. Wait, or was this the Robinson one? No, this was No, this was West Day. Guys, it's been months since I've been to a library book sale. I have been kind of putting off filming this video just because there's been other things that I've been doing and filming and are more time sensitive. So anyways, so sorry. From the Robinson Library book sale, the first book I got, The Girl on the Train. I had never read this book. I actually hadn't even really heard of this book until we were walking around, and my friend who I went with was like, Emily, this book was one of my favorite books ever. I was like, oh, well, I'll get it then. And it also says soon to be a major motion picture. So I know that I'm probably living under a rock by saying that I've never heard of or read this book before, but this is also the author's first thriller book, and I'm just really into that genre right now. So it seems like a pretty short read. I'm going on vacation in a couple weeks, so TBD, I might take this book with me just because it's really tiny. Very, very tiny, and I think it would probably be a good beach read. The next book that I got purely based on the cover, Monsters. Yeah, that's fucking weird, right? It's a really gross cover. There's a lot of authors. There's a ton of authors, but it's edited by Stephen Jones. I don't know if that's, a good editor, or I have no context for who Stephen Jones is, but his name is pretty large, so maybe he's pretty cool. This book says everybody knows the most memorable monsters, vampires, werewolves, zombies, mad scientists creation, and you will find all of those classic creatures suitably featured in this monsterific new anthology from multiple award-winning editor Stephen Jones. So yeah, I guess he is pretty good. But I don't read a lot of anthologies, and I thought that this would be a good anthology to read because I do like horror stuff. So I picked it up. Also, the cover, yeah, it's kind of weird. The next book that I got was Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I loved this book. This was actually my first Blake Crouch book. So good. It was so good. I liked it so much that I convinced my husband, who is not a reader, to read it, and he also really liked it. So I have read a couple, I think I've read 2 other books by this author since I've read this, and I don't have any of them on my bookshelf, but I wasn't like planning on getting any of them for my bookshelf for no like reason. I just didn't feel drawn to like buying, you know, those books. But it was at the library book sale for like $1, so I did pick it up. And now I feel like I need to get more of Blake Crouch's books to put on my bookshelf of ones that I like read and liked. Anyways, this book was really cool because it had a little bit of like a unique sci-fi element to it where there were like multiple timelines and the main character was like jumping between timelines. I don't know. It was very cool. It kept my interest, and it's actually such a quick read that this would probably be a book that I would reread just because it was interesting and it was a really, really, really fun read. The next book I got was The Grace Year. I've been wanting to read this book for a long time. It's been on my TBR for a while. And so I do this thing at the end of every year. I will like get Kindle Unlimited for like 1 or 2 months. That way I can read all of the books that are on Kindle Unlimited by like indie authors or ones that are not available through my library, whatever it might be. And this is always one of the ones that I like download from Kindle Unlimited. And it's not that I can't get it from Libby. It's just like it's on Kindle Unlimited. So I was going to download it if I have that subscription. But I never read it because I know that it's always going to be on there, right? So I've heard that this book will destroy you and make you cry. And I also heard that I think it's sci-fi or dystopian. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't been in the right mental state to be reading a book that is going to destroy me as much as people say this book will. So I haven't picked it up yet since I got it, and I honestly think that's one of the reasons why I haven't read it since I like have downloaded it from Kindle Unlimited so many times. But now it's just on my bookshelf, so whenever I'm feeling in the mood to be emotionally destroyed, I can pick it up. Anyways, talking about price of books, this one was only $10.99. Bring back $10.99 paperbacks. When was this published? I can't even tell you like the last time I got a new book for $10.99. This was in 2019. That wasn't even really that long ago, but okay. The next book I got was To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. This is also a very chunky book. I've already read this book. I have already read this book. I really, really, really liked it. This is probably one of my favorite like sci-fi alien space standalone books. It is chunky, but it's a good one. And I can't get the sticker off of here. I know like the last time I posted about this book and not being able to get the sticker off, some people gave me suggestions. Honestly, I don't really care about it that much because it's just gonna sit on my bookshelf like this. So yeah, this was a good alien book. If you like sci-fi, you have probably heard of this book before. And then the last book I got from the Robinson Library book sale was The Deep. This is a little bit of like a thriller horror. I don't know if this could be considered like a retelling, but this is about the Titanic and what happened, and maybe it wasn't actually an iceberg that made the Titanic sink, which I actually think is really cool. I am actually currently reading like a mermaid horror book, Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant, and I'm really, 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 really loving it. The ocean is terrifying to me, so horror books that have to deal with anything regarding the ocean, yeah, I am going to pick that up, but I'm never going to go on like a cruise ship or anything like that. Funny story about this one. I pulled this off the shelf and I was like, oh, this actually is like really cool. This is like about the Titanic, and my one friend who I went with loves the Titanic, loves that movie. So I was telling her, she's like, oh, if you don't get that, like I might get that. And so I turned it around and she was like, oh, I actually already have that book on my bookshelf, and like she forgot about it. So I'm going to try to convince her to do a buddy read with me for this book. So this was the last book I got from the Robinson Library book sale. So I got 6 from Robinson Library, 5 books from the West Day Library book sale, and actually from the Robinson Library book sale, I also got a puzzle. I'm a puzzle girly now. This was look how cute. There's plants on it. It's really cute. This is what the puzzle looks like. Wait, can you see it? I have already done this puzzle twice. It's only 140 pieces, so it's like kind of nice if I'm like stressed at work to just like pop that one open and do it on my desk. You know what I mean? I'm surprised all the pieces were in there. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, all 140 pieces are there. And then when I was there also, I got a bookmark. This is a hand painted bookmark. Isn't that crazy? It's so good. There were so many really cute bookmarks, but I wanted an orange one because I don't have an orange, like I don't really have an orange bookmark, and it felt like I just needed that for summer, you know? So, got this from the library book sale also. I got the puzzle. And then from the Northland Library book sale. Okay, so I went there and it was fine. The library is like huge. That's actually where I grew up, so I'm like very familiar with that library. It has been a little bit renovated, a little bit yassified, and there's now a coffee shop in there, which I love. I think all libraries should have coffee shops. But even though it is a larger library, there actually were not too many books from their book sale that I even like wanted to get. There was a lot of mass market paperbacks, but they were like books that were not really in good quality, authors that I probably won't ever read, like just not really for me. And then there also was like a ton of Danielle Steele and James Patterson and stuff like that. And also, I'm never gonna read those. So I didn't get any of those books. That was all in like the downstairs section. We went upstairs into like the nonfiction section, and they did say that there were gonna be more fiction books upstairs, but I guess they had like sold out because there really weren't too many. Or well, not too many. There weren't any. But they had like 5 or 6 long picnic tables filled with nonfiction books. And so we kind of looked through those, and I don't like read nonfiction, but I do have a shelf in my kitchen. You can kind of see it like up here that we like to put cookbooks on and stuff like that. So we got a baking cookbook. It's cute, you know? It says delicious recipes you'll be unable to resist. So we haven't, made anything from here, but when the mood strikes, we will have a cookbook to be able to make a sweet treat, right? So that's one of the books that I got from Northland. And then the other one that I got, the 101 Best Tropical Fishes. How to choose and keep hardy, brilliant, fascinating species that will thrive in your home aquarium. So if you don't know, my husband and I are fish keepers. And this year we've recently started getting into fish keeping. And right now I have my beta tank in the living room. I have a 20-gallon tall that is in our room. It's not put together yet. I had to tear it down because I had a duckweed and ram's horn snail infestation. Both of those things, if it was just the snail infestation, I probably could have like gotten an assassin snail or like done something to figure, but duckweed, no, I'm not dealing with that shit. So I like completely tore it down. So that I'm eventually going to set back up, but the fish that I had in there, we put in a 20-gallon long that we have downstairs. And so now that's the community tank between like my fish and my husband's fish, because we have different styles of like hardscaping and what type of plants we like and just like the kind of fish that we want to get. So we have now like a community tank that has both of our fish in it, right? So that's 3. I have a 10-gallon square that I'm currently setting up, and all I have in there right now are shrimp. But that's kind of like our quarantine tank, and also we have a lot of like the red cherry shrimp, and also I think a mono shrimp. No, it can't be the mono shrimp. I don't know. I think we had to have gotten something that was like not, so I have one ghost shrimp that has survived all of this. We got a lot of cherry shrimp, but they repopulate very quickly. And so the fish that were in my husband's community tank kept on eating the babies. So now we put those in like my 10-gallon square tank. And then we also have a couple other, I don't think it's a mono shrimp, but I don't know what other shrimp they are because they're not red. They're not the ghost shrimp, but they're like repopulating. And a lot of shrimp like don't repopulate in freshwater, and we only keep freshwater tanks. So this is like a whole spiel of fish keeping. It's like a huge hobby of ours. Anyways, and then my husband is setting up a 5-gallon small because he wants to get pea puffer fish. And they're mean. They can only be in a single tank. So anyways, we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks in our house. We started this hobby like less than a year ago. It's an expensive hobby, and we're now currently feeling the financial effects of having so many fish tanks. But whenever we want to get more fish, now we have a guidebook. Actually, I'm going to see if any of my fish are in here. Oh yeah, so my husband has a bloodfin tetra. They're really cool. Those are the ones who are really eating the shrimp. I have black phantom tetra. They're really cute. I like those. And I really like scissortail rasboras. I think they're super cute. I don't know, I just think the shape of them is cute, but I think in my 10-gallon square, I'm going to end up getting Harlequin rasboras, because they're pretty small and they're very, very, very peaceful. And yeah, there's actually so many fish in here that I have never even heard of, which makes sense because I've only been in this hobby for like since December. Anyways, I might actually look through this book a little bit more. I don't think I've really looked through it since we got this book. This was more of a pick for my husband. Anyways, that's the other book that we got from the Northland Public Library book sale. And I think that's everything that I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 13 books. So that's all the books that I got. Grand total, 13 books, 1 bookmark, 1 puzzle. It was a really good haul. Pro tip though, if you are going to your library book sales with the intention of buying library books, make sure you quarantine your books when you get home because you don't know like where these books have been. And I think this kind of goes for if you buy anything really like secondhand. I keep mine, they've been sitting on my chair for like 2 months now. So 2 months, you know, there's no like mold that's growing on them. So I feel pretty safe to like put them up there, which is where I put a lot of my library books, which that's actually why I'm filming this video because now I'm gonna put them away. You want to make sure that you quarantine your books to make sure there's no like mold that gets spread to your other books. When that happens, it's very, very, very hard to like get a handle on it, especially if you have books that are like mine where they're all very close together. If you can swing it, you know, leave your books quarantined for about 2 months. That's normally what I do, but a lot of people also put their books in like Ziploc bags and then they put it in their freezer because that will also kill, I guess, the mold germs. I've never tried that. I've never looked into it. I also don't have a freezer big enough to put 13 books in. So that's not going to work for me. But if you get like 1 or 2, you know, maybe you can do that. Oh, and I also wanted to show you, I got 2 new bags that I'm now going to start taking to the library, and actually they'd be like really cute for like library book sales where I'm going to be getting a lot of books. If you don't know, I love Inkwell threads. They're like literally my favorite bookish apparel brand. Everything in their shop is very cute. The shipping is very fast. The quality of their items is top tier. Let me show you the new bags that I got. Okay, so I normally use my library loot tote bag, right? This is like iconic to me. That's me, my library loot tote bag. I love this bag. It can fit like almost a dozen books. It's really massive, but it also has like this like pocket with a zipper in it, and it also has this outside pocket. So it's like it has a lot of different kinds of storage in it, and I really like that for when I'm like going to the library because I'll just go in with this. I'll put my keys and my wallet, and if I like bring my digi for like a vlog or something. But I got this other bag that is a lot bigger and it's very cute. I took this out and about just kind of like yesterday. I was working outside of my house and this fits my laptop perfectly. My laptop, a couple books. Yeah, like it's actually, I took 2 laptops because it was my laptop and my husband's laptop. I had both of them in here. So you can hold some shit in here. But same thing as before, there's a pocket here and there's also a pocket inside. And it's really cute. It's really cute for spring, right? I'm trying to put it up. Hang on. I don't know why I put it on my shoulder. I can't show you on my shoulder. Yeah. This might be my new favorite bag right now. I got 1 more bag. So they were having a sale where if you like spend so much money, you get a free bag. And so that's where I got this bag from. It's like a library thing. Look how cute. I love it so much. There's no pocket on the outside, but there are 2 little pockets on the inside. It's a very small bag, but I think this would be cute like to go to the library if I'm just going for like, I don't know, 1 or 2 books, or trying to have a little bit of like shelf control if I'm like book shopping, whatever. The yellow color is very cute. It's like a library card or like the library return thing in the back of, I don't know, it's very cute. So this was the free bag that I got. So I now have 3 bags from Inkwell Threads, and all 3 of those are from her shop. I can't wait to start using them. I have them on shelf or hooks behind me on the wall, and I'm gonna have to get more hooks because my bags just like don't really fit there anymore. I have too many bags. Anyways, I think all of those bags are still up in her shop if you're looking for a tote bag that's kind of like library focused, or even just like a bag to like go book shopping, you know, like they're sturdy. Trust me when I say I fill those bags with books. This is not sponsored. I just really like her shop. Anyways, that is everything that I got from my library book sales this year, this spring. I'll probably be doing, I might try to do a little bit more like vlog videos whenever I go for the fall book sales that my libraries have. Just TBD how I'm feeling at that time. Anyways, I have new videos releasing every Saturday morning. If that's something that you're interested in, make sure to subscribe. If you guys have read any of these books and have opinions on them, please let me know in the comments. I've only read like just a handful of them, so most of them are unread books on my bookshelf that I will hope to get to soon. I live, love the library, and I love you all. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!